Man, this guy's always ordering car parts. What the hell is this? Oh, it's my MAF. About time, mother.
So y'all know it's not a miss.
Thank you, miss. Damn. No, that's cool.
It's alive!
Alright guys, finally the MAF is here. Finally got the box. Finally got what I need. The last piece of the puzzle. Well, one of the last pieces, but the last piece I was waiting on is actually here. Here's a harness for it, and I'm going to show you guys how to wire it. Now, first off, it has 6 wires. We're not using all 6 because we're replacing the stock factory MAF, which only has 4. First off, the 2 gray wires right here, they go to the air intake temperature sensor that's under the intake manifold. Our BMW, we already have our own, so we don't need those 2 wires, so we can ignore those 2. And then we got one that's red, straight 12 volt, a black ground. The blue, I think, is the signal, and the brown, I think, is the MAF return signal or something like that. I'm not that great with, those type of terms, but we'll talk about that in a second. Had a little setback. So I actually talked to Dave. Dave's going to be the one that's tuning my car. If you guys know Dave Marker Motorworks. He's going to be the one that's actually tuning my car. He told me everything to get. So everything I'm getting is off his checklist because he already has a flash tune for it. So I don't even have to go on a dyno. He can literally just hook it up and flash his tune on with his computer and we're good to go. So we'll be driving this thing very shortly. Before I called Dave over, I said, let me make sure everything works because I definitely don't want Dave to come over and find out the car doesn't work and all that stuff. So I had to put, I already put the intake manifold on after doing the brass fittings and all that stuff. And my battery, I got a brand new battery. I put that in. Before I put that in, I actually had a little bit of rust in my trunk. So I had to clean that up, sand it out, and sprayed that with some rust sealer or something like that. I can't remember, something I picked up from the store, but the rust is gone for now. So put the battery in there. Went to go try to start it and didn't start. So I don't know what was going on. I was like, okay, maybe it's a fuel issue because sometimes it always tells me it's a fuel issue, especially since the last thing I did change was a fuel pump. That made me think it was a fuel issue. So after I unplugged the one of the fuel lines and I just put a water bottle there to see if something would spray up into it, and I tried to start it and nothing. So after that, I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense because when I installed the fuel pump, you guys saw me install the fuel pump, you hear the relay kick on, you hear the fuel pump buzz and all that stuff. So I'm like, the fuel pump works. That's weird. So anyway, so I went to go investigate. I took the fuel pump out, laid the fuel pump down on the seat, and then I cranked the key just to see if it would make a sound, and it did. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. The fuel pump works. Why wouldn't it pump fuel? So then I'm thinking something must be clogged in the line. So then I pulled the fuel pump out and I actually, I took the bottom strainer off to see maybe if that was the problem. Didn't fix it. So then I took it to the table and I actually took the hose off. I took the hose completely off and just to make sure nothing was stuck in that hose, like some debris or something that I didn't see. And no, that was pretty clear too. So I put the fuel pump back in there with no strainer and nothing on the top line just to see if the fuel pump would work. It's just to see if something would spray from the bottom up to the top. I'm like, that's the only thing that's limiting it right now. So let me see. So I put it back in there, cranked it, nothing. So I'm like, okay, I'm really confused. So then I ended up posting it on my story, and then my buddy, we call him Sushi actually responded to my story on Instagram, and he said, maybe the wires are backwards. I didn't know that was a thing. I figured it was positive and negative. I didn't think that, I guess fuel pumps do spin like a fan, so I guess it has opposite polarity. So after you told me that, I said, I could try it. So I ended up taking the fuel pump back out, and I put it on the table, and I hammered the I didn't want to resolder all the wires and stuff I did already, so I actually hammered the pins out from the top of the fuel pump. You take something flat, hit it with a hammer, they come right out. It's actually not too hard. And then I just reversed them, and then I put them back in there, kind of hammered in place with a flat head so they'd stay tight. And then I hooked it back up to the car, laid it on the seat, cranked the car, and the fuel pump made a different sound. So I'm like, maybe that did work. So then I put it back in the car, and then I cranked the key with nothing on top, and all right, please work. Oh, it worked. So fuel pump works, and then after that, I put everything back together and started the car. So the car starts, everything's good now. Now I'm gonna call Dave, we're gonna get this MAF installed, I'm gonna get this tune loaded, and then we'll be able to, like, not drive yet, because I still gotta do radiator and stuff, but the car will be good to go in terms of that. So we're almost done, guys. So I'm gonna call Dave and get back to you guys in a second. Alright guys, I'm back. It's actually a little bit later in the evening. I just finished driving a car. Single turbo N54 335, made a 715 wheel horsepower. Pretty fast. Be on the lookout for that video. It should be after this video. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Anyways, Dave is busy right now, so he can't come over right this second, but I'm gonna go ahead and just wire in this MAF and show you guys how to do it. It's actually not that hard. Like I said, it's only 4 wires you're splicing, but you got to know which 4 wires you're splicing. So right now, already put the MAF in. Didn't really have to film that because, I mean, it's just literally just put it in place and tighten all the couplers.
It's coupler.
Huh?
Coupler.
Well, it's spelled like soup, so I'm calling it coupler.
Sorry guys, go try.
Yeah, so all the couplers are tight, and this thing is all ready to go. So now I got a chest mount on so I can actually use both my hands. So I'm gonna put you guys in here, and that way you can see what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. And yeah, so do you guys like a scorpion? Get over here. All right, you guys are in my chest now. I guess that means you love me. So here is the factory M52 MAF. You know, it just screws in, and however, okay, it screws in somehow. Don't embarrass me on camera right now. Come on now. There we go. So that's how it would normally go. It's in there, and we're basically gonna cut this off. So we no longer need this attachment because we have our own with our own new blow-through MAF. So you can go ahead and get that out of here. Throw it on the grass. Somebody can have it later. As far as this, we can go ahead and cut this now. We will never need it again. I know this is kind of scary to do because ain't no going back, but let's go ahead and cut them all. Bam, done. Say bye-bye. So here's the wires we have left. Now let's I'm gonna cut these down a little bit so I can see, so you guys can see the colors a little bit better. All right, so I cut this up as much as I could. That way you can see all the colors and everything. So you got a yellow, a black, a red and white, and a brown. On here, like I said earlier, the 2 grays we're not using because there is a harness in here already for the intake air temperature sensor, which is located under there. So we're not using those. We're only going to use these 4, which is blue, brown, black and red. Also, this is a Ford HPX MAF. If you get another brand, I think RK Tunes has his own, and also I think TRM has their own blow-through MAF with the harness, and they're gonna have different colors. But if I find the research for you guys, just in case you guys want to use their harness, or you guys already are using their harness, then I can show you what theirs are, and that way, you know. But if you get a Ford HPX MAF like this one is, these are the colors. So basically, the black is your ground, your yellow is your MAF out signal, your brown is your, well, it's like brown with an orange stripe. That's your, what do you call it? It was, MAF. I'll put some screenshots I found online. I mean, I always learn this stuff by just browsing stuff online. I always go online middle of the night and be searching for stuff and random information like 1 o'clock in the morning. But the brown, I think this is like your MAF return. It's going to go to your MAF return on here. And then your red and white is your signal, your 12-volt signal. So we're going to link the red to the red, your black to the black, your yellow to the blue, and your brown and orange, it's brown with an orange stripe, to your solid brown on here. And again, the 2 grays are not used, so I can get rid of those. I don't even need them. So let's go ahead and loosen these up and start splicing. So again, these grays we don't need. I'm gonna go ahead and cut these off short too, so they're completely out of the way. If something happens, you can just buy a harness, so it's not end of the world if I mess something up. I'm gonna use these. These are my little things that strip them, and I'm just gonna put butt connectors on all of them. So let's go ahead and open those up. This is also from Harbor Freight. Red on the red and white. And then I have crimpers, also from Harbor Freight. Tells you the color. You know, I'm using the red one for whatever gauge that's called, so it's the smaller one. So I'm gonna go ahead and crimp the shit out of it. Do both sides just in case. And that should be good. That should not come apart. Okay, I think we're good. So the red to red, the blue goes to the yellow. Let's go ahead and do the blue next. Or let's go on a line. Let's see, red, and then we'll do black. So black to black. Black to black. It's not a song, I just made that up. Crimp you. Crimp you. Now we got your brown. Your brown is your MAF return signal, your MAF ground signal, and that goes to your brown on here. So the colors are actually pretty close. Like I said, the other ones, it's just yellow and blue. Everything else is red to red, black to black. Pretty simple. But it's actually crazy because there's no videos of anybody ever doing this. Like, I think a lot of these videos I'm making for you guys, I don't see anybody else doing them. Maybe I just can't find them. I have looked up some stuff because a lot of this stuff, like I said, I've never done it before. I've never done any of this before, but, you know, I'm willing to learn. So, and I'm willing to teach you guys too, so you can learn. And if I make a mistake, like my fuel pump earlier, you can learn from my mistake. And now the blue to the yellow, and we are done. It's that simple. And that's it. We are wired in. Factory MAF wiring to our HPX MAF. And like I said, it just plug right into there. And boom, we have a blow-through MAF wired up. Pretty simple, right? If I do start having issues and I feel like it's not connected enough in here, I will come back and solder it, but I don't think I need to. The wires don't really tug or shake or anything, so I mean, they're just kind of, they're literally just gonna sit in the engine bay. And I think this is enough. I gave them a decent tug, nothing crazy, and they didn't seem to go anywhere, so I think we're good on that. So, but if we're not, I will find out and I will make the necessary adjustments. That's why I did leave some slack. That way, if I am not in the right spot or I need to do it again, I can. So just remember that. And let's put you back in place. There, that looks so much cleaner. That looks so much cleaner. That's so simple. There you go. Tighten my couplers. Say what I want. So there you go, guys. Turbo kit is finally 100% installed. If you guys been watching this series, then take it in with me. Take it in. Everything is done. Everything is complete as far as turbo kit. I feel like a weight just lifted off my shoulders right now. So the only thing I really need is, like I said, Dave has to come over and load the tune on it so I can actually, you know, use my turbo. And do the radiator and fans, and then add a boost gauge to this housing over here, the brass fitting that I made, and run that into the bay, and that's it. And we are good to go. So, yeah. It's done. All right, guys, Dave is here. He's loading up my tune. If you see my UPS uniform, and you remember me wearing a UPS uniform in the intro, because I literally work at UPS. So told me about some possible vacuum leaks I got in here that I gotta address before I really take it on a good drive. So I figured he'd come over here and point some stuff out for me. So he wasn't too mean though. So, but he's gonna load the tune. We're gonna make sure it runs, and that'll be it for this video. And that's all writing to my...
It's reading right now, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the matrix. Yeah, that's what everyone thinks it is. It's called hex code.
Hex code.
Hexadecimal. 16-bit.
Some old 90s technology.
Yeah, well, actually, it's just machine language. All the new ECUs are written in the same stuff. It's just a lot bigger.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You have a 24 kilobyte file. 335 is 1024 kilobytes. Or 2048, I'm sorry. 2048. And then like a new car is like 6 megabytes.
Wow.
And just more and more stuff in there. Tables and maps and scalars and whole 9 yards. So, and then we go in and we're like, let's look at the spark table. Let's look at this one. Bins. Black Turbo E36.
No, you already wrote one for me?
No, these are just reads.
Oh.
So there's the original spark table, which is some, that looks like a Conforti NA tune or some little NA tune. And you got your rev limiters and your wide open throttle fuel table and your fuel map and all sorts of stuff. So, and I'm still using the XDF I made forever ago that I never finished. Vanos something. Yeah. Vanos something. We got idles and fuel restore. And get some Burble tune action in there.
I would like to spit some flames. I would like to spit some flames.
I can get to make some flames.
Right.
Gas mileage is going to be 6, but we'll make some flames.
I'm used to it. Daily in M3.
Yeah.
Nope.
What'd you do?
Nothing. Wanna do it again?
Yeah. That's interesting. You got ignition angle, engine load, injection time, MAF, RPM. Everything's just kind of chilling. Ignition vent's going up a little. And then right here it's just like bleh. Really nice. Get a wide band. Do I have any inclination on too much?
It'll be here. It'll be here tomorrow.
Alright, turn it off. Alright, figure out a way to make this stay. You got alligator clips or anything?
No.
Technically should free air calibrate the airflow sensor, but it's probably fine.
Alright, so I know my neighbors hate me because it's midnight and we're still trying to get this car to idle and rev. Sorry, neighbors. I'll try a couple more things. He has to like freestyle off his head because he didn't have the table written down. So, just trial and error. Eventually it'll have to work. Alright. Get it? Kind of works. Might have gotten it. Huh?
Another reason it doesn't want to rev over 4,000.
What is that?
The file I used has launch control on it.
Oh.
Like, why would it rev over 4?
I think we did it. We are officially tuned now. I'll take it for a drive another day. It needs a radiator, but
Finish putting it together.
oh, the front end
And maybe
is
put
optional.
that somewhere in the car.
Yeah. Well, I'll get another one tomorrow, and the other one is actually a boost gauge and an AFR together. So,
Alright.
so
So it should drive around now. I'll take off the launch control.
all right.
Because your vehicle speed signal probably doesn't work like they
Yeah,
usually
I don't want launch control. I want to do burnout. So
Yeah. And, yeah, you can putz around it, and then we need to go in the dyno.
yes. And when we go to the dyno, we'll do straight E35 because I don't want to up the boost unless it's E85. I like it to survive for a little while, but we are tuned. Oh, feels great. I've worked so hard on this, mostly by myself.
I'm gonna name this file "This Mostly Worked."
It's mostly worked. Alright guys, well, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next video where I actually put the radiator in and actually drive it somewhere. So, thanks for watching. Deuces. Thank you, Dave. And I will see you guys in the next one. And sorry, neighbors, it is 12:25. Deuces.